Wasn't there 2 shovels? What?
Pretty dry. Everything up behind you. Here, let me show you guys something. So if you guys are new around here, my wife and I live off-grid in a log cabin in the Midwest, and we use the composting toilet system, which is basically a 5-gallon bucket, and then we use sawdust right here as a cover material, which means that you use the restroom and you do your paperwork and you put everything in there, and then you put a little sawdust over the top of it, and then you layer it in the bucket. But we have a lot of videos on that if you want to go check it out. So what we just did now is we unloaded a truckload of sawdust that we get at our local sawmill for the charge of $0, and pretty soon we'll be creating our own man glitter. Pretty excited about that. And then we bring it back here and then we load it into these IBC totes. Now a lot of you guys, if you're homesteading or if you're living off grid, these IBC totes, these are fantastic. They can serve so many purposes. You can put firewood in here. You could actually take this whole plastic casing out and you could put firewood in here and stack it. You can also, like we're doing, using this, we cut the top off as you saw in the video, and we use it to hold the sawdust in here because we want to keep this sawdust dry. That's the main thing to using it for the composting toilet. If you use wet sawdust, you can, but you're gonna need like 3 times as much sawdust to suppress the smell of your composting toilet. So you want the sawdust to be as dry as possible. Now you guys can see we got a lot of snow around here, but right before the snow, we had a couple of stretches of some really dry weather, and I told Stacy, I said, that bad weather's coming in, I think I better get over there and get some sawdust. So I got some sawdust, brought it back, and then we filled up these 2 bins. I had to cut the top off of this one because we're adding a second bin this year. Just so, you know, we're gonna produce our own sawdust, and I wanna make sure we have a place to store it. And this is really something to think about if you get it for free and you have to go to a sawmill, you know, if it rains for like days and days at a time, and then all of a sudden you're at the end of your sawdust, now that could become a problem. So we're deciding that we're going to, you know, 1 is none, 2 is 1, and 3 is done. So we've added another bin this year, and I'll tell you, 1 truckload of sawdust lasts the wife and I a full year here on the homestead. And we use it for the composting toilets, we use it for the chicken coop, we use it for the sheep a little bit. We're always using it around the homestead. You know, it's great on oil spills or just anything like that. And if you have a dead animal, let's say in the middle of winter, and you can't get the animal into the ground, you don't have a backhoe or some way to dig into the frozen earth, you can actually bury the animal in the sawdust. Come springtime or a little after, the animal will be all gone, bones and all. It's crazy. So sawdust is a super utilitarian item on our homestead, and I'm just trying to share all this good information with you guys. Ha! So I'm gonna get this covered up. Now, one thing is for sure, if you have barn cats, you better keep this covered up because they think this is the giant litter box. So we keep this very secure and very, you know, covered. Knocking these chores out like a boss this morning, and I'll have this video up for you today. This is a real day video, like today's Monday. And I was hoping that we could do this video, and by the time the video was done, the snow would melt. Did you guys see all the snow coming in? Well, today, like, it's like 50 degrees, so get ready for the muddy mess outside. But in this video today, we're going to talk about the master of one. And what do I mean, master of one? A lot of you guys are starting out on your homestead journey, and I thought this would be a good kind of advice video. You know, like if we were family members and stuff. Like this could be one of the best things I could tell you guys, might be the most impactful. When we started our homestead journey, hold on, let me I'm coming. Hold on, let me give Smokey this hay real quick. Come on. I don't want to miss the chance to show you guys this. Might be the darndest thing you ever did see. So I just brought that hay out here to the horses, as you can see. And look at this. First off, I've been training Maggie not to bark around the horses. Good job, Maggie. Second off, what is that? Molly has been coming out here with the horses and eating breakfast with them. Ha! Have you guys ever seen anything like it? Crazy. She's been such a good girl. All right, for some reason I thought you'd get a kick out of that, but let's go feed the sheep and everybody because she's whining, the new mama, and I want to finish this talk about the master of one. Yes, it's a beautiful day. Baby's doing great. Mama's doing good. Give her some fresh hay. And I'm actually going to open up this gate over here so she can have this pasture to herself, so her and the baby can stretch their wings a little bit. I wanted to keep them in here, you know, during the snowstorm, obviously, just to keep an eye on to make sure the new lamb is doing good. But I forgot to mention to you guys the other day when you were watching our videos about sheep, is that the other reason why I want to keep her separated is because she puts off a smell after they have their birth. And then Rambo here will harass her and follow her around and stress her out. And she's just now nursing her lamb, so I keep them separated. Usually it takes about a week to get the smell off of her, and then they'll be fine to be all together. So I just wanted to drop that in here for you guys because I forgot to mention that. I want to make sure that if you're going to raise goats or sheep or horses, it's all the same. As soon as they have birth, they have this smell, and he gets all excited about it. And you'll notice too that the lamb is only a couple days old and it's already eating hay. The master of one. How many times have you guys talked to your friends or you've been by videos on YouTube or Facebook and the person says, oh, when I get my homestead, I'm gonna get this, pigs, horses, cows, chickens, goats, sheep, alligators, everything. All right, so the purpose of this talk, the reason why we're doing this, is to slow you guys down a little bit, and I want to teach you guys one of the things that helped us become really successful here on our homestead, and it's called the master of one. So when you get to your new property and you're learning all this stuff for the first time, even if you've been around this stuff some of your life and maybe you went to the city and now you're coming back, okay? I just want to encourage you guys to slow down a little bit and become the master of one. So what does that mean? That means like get some chickens and then be really, really good at raising your chickens, right? You're learning like about the elderberries. Did you guys learn something about the elderberries? How they help keep chickens healthy? And then apple cider vinegar in their water, right? And then their feed so you can get the most egg production, okay? All these little tricks. So once you master all that, and you have your chickens producing, they're healthy, and they're living good, and they're laying lots of eggs, and you feel really good about it, that's when you move on and you become the master of one in sheep or goats. And then you'll learn about sheep or goats, and you'll get all your information, and you'll do your homework, and maybe you'll reach out to somebody in your neighborhood or in your area that has sheep or goats, and you'll go spend some time working around them, and then you'll learn all about sheep and goats and about the ruminants, how their stomachs digest and how they have babies and all this stuff. And then you master sheep or goats. So then you have two, right? Now you become the master of one, and then you move on to maybe bees. And then you start learning about bees. And then you get really in depth learning about bees. You're watching all Off Grid with Doug and Stacy bee videos and Dr. Leo. And you're going, man, I really think I got this. And then you get your equipment, you start, building it yourself so you can save some money, or you can buy it. And then you put it all together, and then you get your first set of bees, and then you catch your first set of bees. We've taught you guys, you should never buy bees from someone again. We've taught you guys how to catch swarms, and it's so easy. And then you have your first beehive, then you catch another swarm, then you have two beehives, and now you're the master of one in bees. So you've just now mastered chickens, then you moved on to sheep and goats, and then you moved on to bees. And why do we want to be a master of one? This is really important. It means a lot to me. Is because we don't want to take shortcuts, and we don't want to, hurt or damage our livestock. And that could be just as simple as not knowing the proper things to do, and then not having the healthiest livestock possible. That, to me, is a big deal. I want to have the healthiest livestock possible that can give me the most return on my money. A healthy animal, okay, is going to bring more at the sale barn. It's going to bring more when you sell it one-on-one. It's going to cause you less problems on the homestead, right? If you have a sickly animal all the time and you're devoting all this time to keeping it up and running and there's zero return on that animal, that's not good. You want good, healthy, strong animals on your homestead that can produce more babies and produce more income, so you guys can live this life that you see us living and that you want to live. Now, one thing I have going on here is Molly is inside. She wants to check out the new baby ram, and the mother is super protective. Here, let me see if I can get a shot of it. See what she does here. I don't know if it's going to happen now. The other girls just came in and they stomped at her too. Molly, are you looking at the sheep? Watch how they stomp at her. See that stomp? Got her attention too. They're just showing her that she's the boss and they're putting up the boundaries. She's learning. She's a little farm dog. She's learning. All right, you're back over here. Let's pay attention. Just become the master of one, and when you feel like you really have it, like I'm really confident about this, almost to the point that you'd be able to teach it to someone else, then move on to the next thing. Hello, guineas. Hello, ducks. Hello, ducks. Give the ducks a little food. Like that. Come on, ducks. Come on, ducks. Come on, ducks. Come on. Well, I thought I was gonna get them to come up here and eat for you, but they're real content on just staying in the pond. Here, I'll show you. I love how they all move together. Good stuff. And then I became the master of one of ducks. Well, it's still a little chilly around here. The snow's melting off. I'm gonna get this video up for you guys. But I just thought it'd be interesting for you guys to hear my take on the master of one. Hopefully this information was good for you guys. And I'm gonna try something new this year in 2020. We're actually gonna give away some of our YouTube money that we make off these videos because we appreciate you guys showing up and watching them. So if this video gets 3,000 thumbs up, we're gonna randomly select one person in the comment section and send you a $100 Visa MasterCard. How about that? So leave your comment down below, make sure you give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys on the next video, where maybe you'll be closer to being a master of one.